Hi betting experts, on Saturday October the 12th, a 9-race extravaganza on Saturday on the ITV cameras. We've got action from Newmarket, where the ground's just on the softer side of good, remarkably, at the time recording, while at York, unusually for the Knaves Mast, soft, heavy in places. Hopefully there isn't too much weather around over the weekend, but I have to say the forecast doesn't look wonderful. We start off with our betting expert daily nap. Goes in the 1:15 at Newmarket, a 1 mile 1 furlong Darley Stakes, a valuable prize, and I think Lead Artist is the standout contender here for the Gosdens. Now, Lead Artist in his early days this season was a pretty hard puller who didn't really settle and tanked through his races, often not quite seeing things out of the business end, but I think he's a more professional model here. Kieran Schumacher's really got the hang of him and he's impressed me the last twice. I'm hoping he'll make all the running here. He wouldn't want the ground to get too testing, I don't think. He's a strong travelling sort who goes with zest, and I think he can fend these all off on ground just on the softer side of good. Incidentally, Kieran Schumacher much improved, riding with lots of confidence after his first Group 1 win last weekend. Our betting expert value angle selection goes in the 2:05 at York. It's a 1 mile 2 furlong handicap, and I think Paddy the Squire is the value here at a double figure price. Now, Ian Jardine, a really shrewd operator. This one remains open to loads of improvement on the turf after just a handful of starts so far. He was progressing really nicely until sunk in a bog in the Cambridgeshire last time out. He ran well up to a point there and then found the conditions too much. I don't think they'll be quite so bad at York on this flat track. He handles cut in the ground. I think he'll go really well here under Andrew Mullin. Often these sort of horses from the north, from smaller yards, are well overpriced in these Saturday handicaps. I'm hoping Paddy the Squire will be one of those. The remaining 7 races on ITV on Saturday, we'll do them in time order. Back to York for the 1:30, a 6 furlong listed contest. Some really interesting 2-year-olds here, some of them not from the top yards, and I think Invictus Gold from Tom Clover's stable can strike here. Now, he is a work in progress, 3 career starts so far, 2 wins. He was pretty impressive last time out, showing a really good attitude for pressure, and I think there's more to come from him. He handled cut in the ground last time. I don't think this will be any issue. Back to Newmarket for their Group 3 at 1:50, a 1 mile 2 contest here. Well, there's been no yard in better form than Rafe Beckett all season, and Stars in Their Eyes looked a very exciting prospect when getting off the mark, landing hefty cash in the mud at Leicester last time out. And obviously this Group 3 is a much stiffer assignment, but there's loads more to come from him. He's a relentless galloper. I think he'll relish the long straight at Newmarket. He's liable to get a positive ride, and Ross Orion, probably the most improved jockey in the weighing room, obviously after winning the Arc a couple of Sundays ago, and Beckett just flying. I think his strike rate's nearly 25% in the last 14 days. Back to HQ again for the 2:25, the Autumn Stakes, a Group 3. This time over a mile. Some very interesting runners here. I think Silver Puff is the one to side with here for Charlie Appleby. Charlie, 3 winners in the last 14 days, still going well. This one showed a good attitude to win last time out and is still improving. His freshness at this stage of the season should count for plenty, and I think he'll take plenty of stopping. He's going to improve as he's tested over middle distances next year, I suspect, but this 1 mile trip and a positive ride should be fine. Over to York for the 2:40, a typically competitive 6 furlong handicap, wide open betting. If you're going to play each way. Look for the bookmakers offering extra places, as I say every time, and that particularly applies to King's Lynn from the Andrew Balding stable. Now, King's Lynn is a genuine monkey. He's ahead of this mark. He's much better than it, but he just doesn't win. He's let the Baldings down on numerous occasions when he's been fancied this summer, but he's got William Carver taking off a handy few pounds this afternoon. Loads of pace to aim at. He's quirky. He needs finessing. He needs the gaps to open late. But each way, 6 places, I think he's a really good bet at a double figure price. Back to Newmarket for the big race, the 3 o'clock, the Group 1 Dewhurst over 7 furlongs. Unoriginal, but I think the Lion in Winter will carry on his upward curve here. Aidan O'Brien's got such a strong hand with the juveniles, and this one has really impressed in landing hefty market confidence on both starts so far this season. He's got so many horses to measure them against Aidan that it's significant that he comes here for this Group 1. Back to York for a nursery at 3:15 over a mile. I think there's a very well treated one here from a good yard. Paps Turf from the Aidan Keeley yard. Impressed me one start back in quite a warm contest, and the reason you're getting a good price here on handicap debut is because he got balked leaving the stalls last time out and ended up well beaten. It was a disappointing run, but I think it's meant he's got into this from about £5 lower than he might have done, and I think it was a line through effort. The soft ground should be no issue, and he's open to loads more improvement. And finally, the big Handicap of the afternoon, the 340 at Newmarket, the Cesarewitch over 2 mile 2. Well, Gavin Cromwell's a really shrewd operator, flat and jumps, and I think 6.5 is a very interesting runner here. He's got the promising Robert Wortley up, taking off £3, which is a plus. Watch his latest run back in the Irish equivalent of the Cesarewitch. He paid the price for chasing that plot of Aidan O'Brien's. He was clear with the winner 2 furlongs out and just got tired late. He ran really well. I think that's the best form on offer here. If that hasn't taken the edge off him a couple of weeks later, he must go well. Best of luck with all 9 ITV races on Saturday, betting experts.